Welcome back to Quantreef.com. XRP sitting right around 1.04, right in the middle of a tight range that's got liquidity stacked on both sides. Today we'll walk through the heat map, support and resistance, VWAP, Fibonacci, fair value gaps, positioning, and where this is likely headed over the next several hours. Price is 1.0396, just above session VWAP at 1.0371, so buyers have a slight edge intraday. But both anchored VWAP sit well overhead, one from the high near 1.08, one from the low near 1.054, and price hasn't reclaimed either. That's a bearish tell on the higher timeframe even with the small intraday bounce. Momentum reads mixed, structure strong, but macro and relative strength layers are dragging it down. The bigger pool sits just below, around 1.029, holding over 15 billion in notional and carrying a 70% reach probability over 24 hours, that's the magnet right now. Above, near 1.055, there's another wall worth about 14 billion but a lower reach chance near 30%. Price often drifts toward the fatter pool first before any real reversal, and downside currently looks the more probable draw. On the panel, resistance sits just overhead at the stop-loss level, 1.0414, tight, and likely where shorts get squeezed if buyers push through. Below, support layers stack at the 1-hour swing high of 1.0387, then target 1 at 1.0144, target 2 near 0.994, and target 3 around 0.974. The nearer support at 1.0387 is more likely tested first, and losing it opens the door toward those lower targets. Above price, the nearest unfilled gap is the one-day bearish fair value gap from 1.0432 up to 1.055, sitting right in front of that stop-loss resistance, a natural magnet given it's still under half filled. Below, there's a 4-hour bullish gap between 1.0278 and 1.0317, mostly unfilled and lining up with that downside liquidity pool. On the fib side, price sits below the 0.786 retracement near 1.072, about 3% away, acting as resistance. Given how close the lower gap and liquidity pool sit together, that's the level more likely to get tested first. The card grades this a watch, N at 86, HTS at 63, decent readiness but not enough follow-through to push it higher. Trend and structure, volume, and institutional positioning are carrying the score, while macro regime and relative strength are dragging it down. Retail 74% long, top account 77% long, yet the 4-hour taker flow is 43 long against 57 short, meaning the crowd's positioned long while actual aggressive flow is leaning short. That's a classic setup for longs to get caught offside. Given the taker flow leaning short and the fatter liquidity pool sitting near 1.029, the more probable path is a dip to sweep that zone before any real bounce. If buyers defend it, 1.0387 and then the stop-loss resistance at 1.041 come into play, squeezing the short side. If sellers push through, target 1 near 1.0144 and target 2 near 0.99 open up, punishing the long-heavy retail crowd. Remember, XRP largely follows Bitcoin's own liquidity flow, so check that picture before leaning either way here. A Bitcoin sweep can override a clean XRP setup entirely. Bullish case confirms above 1.0414 with acceptance, bearish case confirms below 1.0387, invalidated back above 1.045. So we're sitting right at a decision point, and whichever side takes its liquidity pool first probably dictates the next real leg. If this kind of layered read helps, drop a like and subscribe. Quantreef.com runs this same 9-layer grade, probability, and liquidity model across over 100 coins, with a 7-day trial if you want to dig deeper. And remember, this is for educational purposes only, not financial advice.